What's good, everybody? Got another special treat for you guys with the old popular Bass Jesus himself, Kelly the Wizard Puppo. Just pulled up to his house. Brought my boat over here the other day, and we put a pretty solid cleaning and detailing in anticipation of a good old boat inspection to get on one of our Southern California lakes. Part of the preventative measures of stopping the spread of invasive species, or at least their efforts to. So anyway, it's been a while since him or I have done any fishing, so we're gonna be prepping some gear, going over some basic tactics and strategies. I haven't seen one of these lakes in a couple years, so it's all new water to me. And I wanted to give you guys some insight into how Kelly approaches that kind of situation, and what he anticipates, how he prepares, and a rough game plan of how he attacks the day. So here we go. Dream machine. Got the rumblings of a legend in the kitchen. Can I come in?
Here we go again.
What's up, partner?
What's going on?
How we living?
Prepping.
Yeah, it's a nice day to help the boat dry out, huh? How we looking on that front?
Looking good.
Nice.
We're on schedule, I think.
Okay.
I think we're good, and we got to get some lunch and
Yeah, I like the idea of
get our
that.
stuff dialed in.
Nice. So for those of these guys that are watching that aren't familiar with the whole boat inspection process, why don't you break it down for us? Like, what do we got to do and go through here in Southern California just to get a day on the lake?
Well, clean and dry, number one. 7-day quarantine from lake to lake, unless you're tagged, you're cabled up.
What does that mean?
You got to be locked down, cabled. And
So once you actually make it in through an inspection point, on your way out,
yes,
they'll tag your boat to your trailer.
right, you are cabled, locked down until they break that cable loose at the lake that you go back to where you got cabled up at.
So what if you roll back to the lake and that cable's broken?
Doesn't work. You got to go home, start over again.
Man,
Yeah, reinspection and go back and
that sounds like fun.
or go to an infested lake
Uh,
and then definitely get quarantined.
infested by what?
Quagga mussels.
Okay, yeah.
So that's been the problem. Unfortunately, I believe personally, I think 90% of our lakes, if not more, have them. They just I think some of them haven't just released all the information yet, but it's soon to come. Castake, it's hard. I mean, come on, Castake.
They actually had a sign that
Pyramid,
said that it was positive.
I mean, that's been something that I've thought for many years already. Between Pyramid, water flow from Pyramid back and forth, generating water to create energy. And they did that every week. And then also guys going back and forth from Pyre to Castake for many, many years. They get blown off of one lake, they go to another one, they go from back and forth. In a matter of an hour and a half.
Yep.
Hour, they're on another water. That's been going on. So
And the birds.
I think California is just looking for another excuse to also just have a reason to tax us and take money from us. Unfortunately.
Conspiracies.
It's all about politics, power. We won't get into that then, politics. But
Word. Well, let's take it back to the positive. So after we have a little lunch here, we're gonna go over a little game plan and a little tackle prep, and some loose plan of attack for the next day or two.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Weather's not cooperating like I wanted it to, but
Well, it's 72 degrees outside, and clear, and I think we got a little bit of cloud cover rolling in tomorrow, right? So
yeah, we're gonna have it later on than expected. I was hoping the low pressure and just the situation where it was gonna materialize a little better for us, but we'll put it together with what we got. I think by Friday, I think we should have a pretty good idea after searching around, looking tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a couple hours. We're going to have to just really get a feel of what's happening. Gosh, it's 5 months for me, I believe. Going on 5 months since I've been on the water.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
5
might be a little
months.
excited.
So yeah, just
Little cabin fever. LA style.
It's got like the rusted bolts here are a little rusty, but we'll see how I do tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be fun. Definitely fun. I'm definitely looking forward to this and putting meetings of the minds together here tomorrow.
Yeah, this is actually the first time we've been in the same boat,
yeah,
right?
It's crazy because everybody wants us to see me and you out in the water together.
I don't know why.
You know, they're just busting your balls on that one. You
Oh
know?
yeah,
it's like, man.
That's a recurring theme.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll give them what they want. See if we can deliver. You know, we'll do our best. Like I say, you know, we're going out on some strange waters tomorrow that have changed more than most people would realize.
Oh yeah.
They'll see, and we'll adapt and adjust to what happens and see what we can do. It'd be nice if conditions would change on us while we're there, but we'll just deal with what we got, and it's going to be decent weather overall. That's pretty much where we're going to have some stable weather tomorrow, and then dropping into lower pressure as well. So we'll do what we got to do, and at the end of the day we'll sit down at dinner time and we'll just get ready for the next day.
That's right, man.
Because the next day is going to be, I think,
the
day I think we can probably put it together, I hope. So I'll get a good feel of it tomorrow, So I'm keeping it simple. I think I might bring 3 rods.
Wow, okay.
Maybe 4.
Oh.
If that. I'm pushing it if I bring 4.
Okay.
But I'm just going to keep it simple.
Cool.
And hey, most of the time you go out there, I don't care if you're in a tournament, pre-fishing or this or that, you tend to only end up using 1 to 3 sticks that really, with the patterns and the techniques with those 3 sticks, you're really going to do pretty much go back and forth to. You can have 10 rods out there, but this time of the year you're going to probably only really capitalize on a couple different baits right now. I think that's where you're going to hone in on right now. Until the weather gets warmer and changes and stuff, then it'll open up a little bit more.
Okay.
We're going to have some lunch though.
All right. Guys, stay tuned. Here it comes.
How do we do?
We're doing golden. Sandwiches. We got some BLTs, some avocado. What do we got here?
Mortadella, Italian.
Yeah. Got to go with the light, health conscious.
Swiss cheese too.
That was Swiss.
Right from the deli.
All right. So like I said, brought the boat over the other day. Full detail, full scrubbing, washed her down. Then we got to dry her out, and Kelly is one of those cats like Mr. Dave DeLuca is that is super anal about organization and cleanliness, and I don't even recognize the Dream Machine right now. Oh man. He took the liberty to reorganize some of the compartments. Jump up here, take a peek. Try not to hurt myself. I just got readjusted by the chiropractor. Look at that. That's looking pretty slick. Pulled all the rods out of it. Oh. That was all me actually. But these compartments here, Mr. Kelly switched it up on me a little bit, made it a little bit more efficient and organized there. Nice. I can dig it. Woo, son, this thing in here was a mess. That's legit. Yep, safety equipment, live well, spick and span. Hopefully ready to host some special guests over the next couple days. Look at that. Got the blue tops ready to rock, all topped off. Looking good in there. Talon's looking fresh. Verado's looking fresh. C-Deck's looking fresh after a simple scrub and wash down. We're ready to rock. Just gotta hit these hummingbirds with the little wave away. We're golden. But yeah, I trip out every time I see this boat, guys. You know, you get people that aren't familiar with the story might see this thing and really just assume that I came from privilege and money and this and that, but this is the culmination of 20 plus years of dreaming and busting my balls, thanks to the inspiration from gentlemen like that.
You know, I'll get into as far as organization, as far as having your boat set up where you can actually get to your tackle ASAP, especially for tournament guys. You know, I really structured it, and since I've retired and everything, I just got all my stuff really ergonomically and really correct as far as utilizing every square inch in actually all my compartments, and using the right containers and how I utilize it with the P-Touch labeler. And I can literally just go into a container and know what I got and not have to just go through bags, a bag in a bag in a bag, or type situation where I can really save time on the water. You know, for a tournament guy, it's perfect, you know, and I really got it set up pretty cool. I don't think too many guys have got their boat set up like I got mine. I've seen some stuff on YouTube, and I commend some guys out there, you know, but I think I took it to another level, and I'm really proud of it, and I'll share that with you down the road and help you guys out, and I'm helping you as well get yourself a little more organized, so you at least you'll be able to balance your boat out with the weight too, and not have too much bow weight, you know, and try to bring your weight towards the back, and try to centralize everything as well too, so you don't have to go from point A to point Z. You know, you can go to point A, B, and C and get your stuff real quick and be out there fishing again. So that's the key, you know. So yeah, we'll stay tuned, and we'll get back on that in another segment.
Nice. That's why he's best, Jesus. That's my favorite comment, by the way. Dude, we can't even like have lunch without the wizard just spewing knowledge. Like, you guys just missed out on a heck of a conversation.
Should have been rolling, huh?
I should have been rolling. I'm sorry.
We had no
everybody.
idea what we were getting ourselves into, didn't we?
It's easy to do, man.
I know, but it just rolls along, and you just keep going, and it's just like, you know, we're talking about guys hooking big fish and catching all these fish and this and that, and then putting in all the time, the preparation, and what it takes just to get yourself set up to catch a big fish. But the journey before you get there, the prepping, all the work you got to do mechanically, mentally.
I mean, we've got 2 days of prep into the boat itself.
We're just spending
the boat,
just to get the boat so we can even touch water.
Oh, I didn't even touch the gear.
You know, and how many hours you get involved just cleaning your boat and getting your stuff together. Now I got the tackle management.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the whole thing. It's just the journey to that point. People don't realize what it takes. And the percentages, and it becomes percentages, you know, on how much time and effort you put out there. But it truly is a lot of work, and to really narrow it down to get to that point where you will be able to line yourself up accordingly, and put your bait and put yourself in the right place at the right time.
And then to execute, right?
And execution, everything's got to be everything's got to be just in the right. You know, you got to make the right cast, presentation. Everything's got to fall in place, and you get in that groove, and you get the feeling. You get that feeling when you know you're making the right cast, and you're in the right zone. You get a good feeling. There's that gut feeling, and instincts that you have, you know, that you will have. Just like, you know, I was a hunter for many years when I was very young growing up. And just the hunting skills alone, and just approaching out in the wild and seeing how things are, you know, observation is key. Observation is overlooked.
That's why we push a whole recreational biologist theme, because it's a lot of observation of the natural behavior of all the parts, right?
The makeup of the lake.
Yeah.
The makeup of what the surrounding is around the lake.
And every one of them is unique.
And every lake there is a puzzle, and there are pieces to that puzzle for each lake that are different, that you have to be able to get those pieces accordingly and to put them in. And nobody gets all the pieces put in that puzzle 100%.
No.
You know, you work your whole life to put that puzzle together, you know. But getting out there and getting into those high percentages is the key. You know, where you're going to have those shots of catching those bigger quality fish. Put you in the 10% category.
You know, and that's the key. You know, you want to achieve that.
I think it's even down more to like the 2% category these days.
Well, these days, yeah, you could say that, considering, because the fact is, times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
There's a pretty big separation in talent.
Definitely, times have changed. That's true. You know what? You've narrowed it down there exactly. But
an even smaller number when you're talking about trophy guys.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A fraction of a percent, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of up and coming young people,
Yeah.
but truly the hunters, and I should say hunters, big fish hunters, you know, the guys that I read about back in the 70s.
Wow.
You know, they were even from the early 60s, you know, that came out, and I mean, there's some true legends out there.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, I did a whole segment and series with your old colleague, Doc Holliday, right? And we went through his whole journey and evolution as a big fish trophy hunter, and, you know, going through the motions of trial and error, figuring out what kind of rod and reel to fish for these big giant 12-inch baits, right? I mean, he showed me this Bass Pro Shops bionic blade that he still has.
No, I remember those.
Yeah.
I know.
It was like a 6.5 or 7 footer.
It was crazy.
Like, I wouldn't even throw a crankbait on that right now.
Crazy, the stuff that he started out with.
Wild.
And it was just off the wall, and that just goes with the times.
Yeah.
You know,
It was what was available at the time.
very limited. It all relates to the times, times in the elevation of changes through, you know, through all the tackle manufacturing and development, you know. But the fishermen are the ones that actually came up with the ideas.
Yeah.
The guys on the water that were the ones that were begging for the stuff that needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while, but like some of the small guys that were building rods out of their garage, those are the guys that were making some of the personalized stuff for themselves, and they were able to get away with it here and there. But the average guy had to go out and get a saltwater rod, you know, steelhead rod, whatever they had to make to get it to that point. I mean, we all searched around, you know, we did. Those were the guys that were in the early 80s that had to search around for the right sticks. By the time that, you know, 90s came around, you know, mid 90s, things were falling in place pretty good as far as rods go. Reels were always an issue, though. That was a big thing, was the reels. Is getting the bigger reel, but light, not heavy, and balancing that out with these new improved so-called swim bait rods. And it took time.
You know, I when I was growing up as a kid, the Abu Garcia, like 6500, was really the only reel in that class that was kind of suited for the job, you know, as far as line capacity and gear ratio. And then I remember when Shimano brought out the first Calcutta 400, right? That obviously was like, boom, that elevated the game so much at that time.
That was it.
But now, looking back, you won't catch me dead with that technology.
It's amazing what was great 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago.
And now here we are.
It's a dinosaur. It's a freaking dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know, and now because everything is stronger, lighter, better.
Yep, the gearing technology is insane.
You can't compare. And if you can take 2 or 3 ounces off of a reel, and you can take an ounce or 2 off of a rod, you got 4 or 5 ounces in weight. That's a lot, you know, every day. Besides slinging a, you know, 7 ounce, 6 ounce swim bait, that's going to help you at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely, it will.
You know, so, you know, technology's come a long ways, and, you know, we were talking about all this stuff that's been what it takes, and there's so much involved in this game, and you know, we're going to go out and prep and get ready for on the water experience the next couple of days here, and you guys look forward to seeing that.
I love it. Well, before we jump out there and do that, I got a pretty rad call and message from a friend of mine who will go unnamed for now, but he sent me a picture of a fish he literally caught just a while ago, and here it is on a board. Catch, you know, on the board, weighed 15 pounds, 25 inches, and look at that gut. So break down that fish for me, Kelly. You know, because I was trying to eat my sandwich, bro, and you already started jumping into this thing, man. Like, you're looking at this rotund fish, and you already started making comparisons because you have a 15-pounder under your belt.
I have a fish that's comparable to that, and we could literally take that and walk in my room right now, and you can see it. But that fish resembles my 15, solid 15 plus minimum, and that fish right there is a definite trout-eating protein fish that is just very healthy. But I'm looking at the back end of it and look at the girth on the tail. And looking how fat that is, and then how it narrows down and protrudes, and then just blows right up into a low belly that just sits there. Just think of the trout that sit in that belly.
Oh yeah, and I can't show you guys at home the other angle for various reasons, but this fish has got one of those bellies that's got like the trifold because she's so big and stretched out.
They start splitting. It's kind of like they get a splitting, kind of like an alligator, but they get this splitting seam on their bellies, and that's just like, you know, if just ready to blow apart, and that's just because of the volume of food that fish takes in, the age of the fish, and that just tells you it's the true giant. I mean, and think about it this way too. It's only January. that fish is gonna put a pound and a half more,
potentially,
maybe 3 pounds before it's ready to spawn.
All it takes is one trout.
I mean, we're looking at that fish right there. People, I mean, I'd go a lot deeper. And that fish right there, to me, end of March, that's 17-pound fish, you know. And I'll be honest with you, timing, I mean, yeah, it's great. Start the year off with a 15 or what have you, but
you were going into the fact that people wouldn't appreciate like what goes into the hunt for a fish of that class, right?
The timing, all the timing involves the hours and days just to prep and set yourself up, to line yourself up, to be able to target,
just to have a shot,
the shot at those fish. And that's part of the puzzle,
and to execute. Because my buddy was telling me about how he had, and mind you, he already had a 10 or 11 pounder to start the day. He never felt a bite, all pressure, got the fish in, and then on the second time, once again, same scenario, didn't realize he was bit, and then all of a sudden he's got this giant on, and it got him into an obstruction under cover. And like, he fishes a little bit lighter line than I prefer. So like, that's pretty hairy. You got a mid-teen size fish, you know, with lighter line than I'm comfortable with, and still got it in the boat. And you know, that's a culmination of a lot of experience, right?
Yeah, that's a good knot tying,
but also being fortunate. And you know, things just have to like set up the right way and work out the right way a lot of times, because you can be as prepared as you want to be or can be and still have something go wrong.
No room for errors.
There really isn't.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You have to have no room for errors, because all it takes is one split of error, or any mechanical move that you make with the rod positioning, how you handle the fish with the rod. You have to follow and lead that fish, and not have the fish lead you.
Especially when you're fishing lighter gear.
When you're at lighter gear, and and you know.
That's why I don't do it.
That's why I don't do it either. You know.
But I don't have a 15-pounder today, so what do I know?
We used to think 20-pound was rope.
Oh man, I thought 15 was rope at one point.
20 pounds a day now. I'm scared sometimes. You know, I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean,
I'm fishing 12-pound on my finesse stuff now, Kelly. Like my 3-inch baits, like I'm fishing it all 12.
No, I don't do that, but no, I get it. I totally
you haven't
get
seen
it.
Smallies yet.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I love a lot of 8-pound. I use a lot of 8-pound.
But yeah, you know, that also goes to show, if you got a system that works for you, like I said, I wouldn't be caught dead with that kind of setup. But man, that guy that caught that fish today has got quite an impressive resume. So how do you argue that?
Oh, you cannot. And now that's just going to push him to go and get that 17.
Oh, right,
pound.
yeah.
It's pushing him out the door to go, hey, Go out there and get the bigger
Oh,
one.
he hung up on me because he is. Hey, I gotta call you back. I gotta make another cast.
He's got to get another one. Yeah.
He's got 3 fish in the boat
He's
already
got
today.
three giants in the boat and ready to try and go and get a 4th one.
That's right.
And look, and it was 3 o'clock, a little
Yeah.
before 3 when we got the call.
Yep.
Crazy. Oh, that's,
So you pumped up for this next couple days in this
Boy.
season in 2018?
it'll be
5 months off, right?
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some good inspiration right there.
Definitely.
I love it, man.
We'll definitely get back into that tackle management soon, though.
Yeah.
We're running
We
out-
got,
we're
yeah, we
running
only
out
got a
of
couple
daylight.
hours of daylight, so we better get going.
Yes,
Especially
we do.
since we got like a whole bundle of bad luck just hanging out next to us. We got to compensate for that, man. What do you think about that whole, that urban legend or that myth?
You know,
How do you feel about bananas in the boat? Because I know some dudes would get absolutely
I know.
destroyed mentally.
I've had, and I'm not mentioning names, but all I can say is that if they found out that I had a banana in the boat, they would literally make me tell them where it was so they can throw it away.
Were you the guy that put a banana in somebody else's boat as a joke?
No.
Or did they do that to you?
I wouldn't do that, but all I would tell you is that I don't carry bananas in my boat no more. I just had to jump on that wagon and go with them, But for me, to be honest with you, it didn't matter for many years. But
That's funny.
we've
always enjoyed taking pictures with a good fish with a banana.
the only banana is when I make my protein shake and I drink on the way to the lake,
See, so where do you draw the line? Because you still got bananas on the
Well, I
boat.
try to get rid of that banana. I try to pass that as much as possible before I get there. So. Yeah, so that's a good one though. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, let's go do some tackle prep.
Prepping.
Chiquita.